Hi, my name is Krista Natale. I work at SUNY Cortland in the Technology Help Center, and this is my Tools of Engagement summary. I'm not much for words, but I'll try to give you a breakdown of the different apps that I learned, the different techniques I learned, just things in general I learned. It was a very interesting and life-changing learning experience, and I was so glad to be part of it. What I found interesting about the Tools of Engagement project, other than what I've heard from coworkers, is going into it, I didn't know what to expect. But then when I saw the video, what the internet is doing to our brains, I thought it put a lot into perspective about how much we are driven by technology. And I wanted to somehow incorporate this video into our student worker training course in Blackboard. So for the time being, the video is currently housed on our welcome screen. And I don't know how many students actually watch the video through in its entirety, but I know that I'm glad that I put it there because it's interesting. It provides a lot of facts. Myself and my coworker Varia are looking to the summer to hopefully update this video in a way to find something a little bit shorter and less detailed, but still factual and fun. So I hope we can find something. As I proceeded on with the Tools of Engagement project, I started with the 7.5 habits for lifelong learners, and it totally wasn't what I expected, because pretty much all the 7.5 habits, I found myself and my coworkers and my students already use these habits daily without even realizing in technology support. So it was good to watch and good to learn and improve on the techniques and methods and learn something new on how to improve just general knowledge and how we think about troubleshooting a basic technology issue. Most of the 7.5 habits of lifelong learning I have tried to somehow incorporate into my training of my students, and again, troubleshooting a difficult technology question or problem. The goal of my day really always is begin with the end in sight. Keep the end in mind, because technology is always changing, and my goal at the end of the day is to try to assist, if I could assist one person by learning a new thing, I call that a win for the day. By doing that, myself and my students accept responsibility for our own learning, with keeping the idea of technology is always changing. Last academic year, we created weekly exercises, and those weekly exercises are housed inside Blackboard, and they just pertain quick mini exercises on any trending technology issue, problem, or question that may have come up the week before or even in the previous semester as review. It keeps our students' minds always working and functioning and trying to keep up to speed, because you never know when that question from last semester or that question from last week or the problem from last week will come back. Also, how I try to teach myself something new is I'm a visual learner, so anything that I could do, watching a video, is always helpful. And my department has a subscription to lynda.com, and I've already used that to my advantage. Viewing problems as challenges, technology is always a new challenge. Any day it's always a new challenge. Today could be a problem with printers not printing. Tomorrow it could be a problem with computers not connecting to Wi-Fi. Every day is different, and each problem daily is a challenge. And those challenges, not only are helpful because you're finding solutions, but it gives me and my students confidence to increase our knowledge of learning, to learn something new, something that we haven't learned the day before. That is pretty awesome. And we do that daily without even thinking. Myself and my coworkers train our new hires at our technology call center. For a little bit of time, it was mainly just me who trained, but it's become more of a collaborative effort. The teaching and the mentoring of others cannot just be one person teaching everyone and mentoring everyone. Depending on the situation, depending on the job. And that by itself, collaborating by itself, is the most rewarding thing that could happen on any given day. Most of the time at the Technology Help Center, most of the time our new student hire would go through the basic training course material in Blackboard. Then, once completed, we look to our veteran students, our returning students, a student in a supervisorial role to kind of like take them under their wing. It not only builds team building, but it also provides some sort of middleman, if you would say, before having to ask a professional staff member for assistance. I found that our students learn better from other students, and it's a great thing to see. Playing is mostly a part of the job. It's not the only part, but it makes day-to-day workflow a lot of fun. For example, we get to learn new applications maybe while watching a tutorial, or if a user encounters an error message, sometimes we try to duplicate the error message on our own computers. That's always fun. If we end up breaking something, it just makes it 10 times more fun to try to fix. So 7.5 Habits of Lifelong Learning, I would suggest anyone to watch, because not only whether the person is new higher ed or new to a job, you'll realize that you're doing these 7.5 habits without even realizing. For my mobile apps, I picked one that I use quite often at work, and another mobile app that I've used maybe once or twice, both of which are excellent in their own way, depending on what you need. I had the Blackboard app downloaded on my iPad, but I didn't use it very often because of the functionality. It's nice if you are used to doing work on a tablet. I'm more used to answering email, going on Facebook and other social media sites. My tablet for fun. I asked one of my student assistants who used the Blackboard app her thoughts, and she said that it's not very compatible with the type of phone that she has. However, she does like the app for its reminder features, which is a nice thought. So I guess Blackboard Mobile is something depending on what you need and what do you expect to use out of it. Faculty, staff, and students here on campus are able to use Skype for Business. I use Skype for Business every day for pretty much instant messaging to get answers to, at the moment, technology questions. There's a lot of functionality with this app for both Mac, PC, mobile device, any type of tablet you may have. And again, I use this mainly to talk with my coworkers in other offices to get answers to any technology questions I may have. Like Skype, there's also, Skype for Business also has the video feature, which, looking at an academic perspective, could easily be used for guest speakers, office hours if one or two of your students are not able to make it to your office hours for whatever reason. Group projects, group meetings, that sort of thing. It does come in quite handy. I've used the video feature once or twice, and it is quite nice. Prezi is an application that I wish I had more than just a couple weeks to focus on and just learn and play with, because there's so much that you can do, and the application has a lot to offer. With that being said, the Prezi example that I showed during the Tools of Engagement project actually was morphed into an iMovie for my Blackboard training course. My reasons are simply because I couldn't figure out how to really slow down the speed of the transitions, and also I didn't have enough time to really just sit and focus on how I could really use all the features that Prezi has to offer. The iMovie inside Blackboard actually turned out great. It's just simple, it was very easy, but again, Prezi is a perfect application for anyone who needs ideas for a lesson plan. If you're just sick of using PowerPoints, take a look at Prezi. As we all know, there is a lot of different citation software out there. It's just a matter of finding which one works best for you. For me, Zotero is an excellent citation software and easy to use. Now, I'll admit I have not used this all the time because of other applications that house information that I use from day to day kind of have taken a place of that. Being a tech support specialist, this software does prove helpful as a resource to store different technology articles and documentation for future reference. I'm trying once or twice a month to continue to update my list of what I have, so to take a look at the link to see my library. With that being said, Zotero I could see where it's excellent for academics. So there you have it, my summary of the Tools of Engagement project. I am so grateful to my peers throughout SUNY who gave me this award. I'm at a loss for words, really, but I will say this. There's something about learning something new that just makes you feel excited in a way that is kind of pretty awesome. So thank you.